Okay, sweet friend, we're going to dive into module 7, and this is a great module on getting practical. Okay, there's going to be some things that you're learning, but there's going to be some practical things, and it's a little bit of a juicy one. You might want to go back. Don't forget, you can pause the video, take notes, go back, do all of that jazz. But it is we're going to start putting things into place in your business and really just shaping stuff. Now you might be doing some of these things already, which is fine, or you might want to tweak. You might pick up some stuff and you might find that other things are working for you. Remember that it's your business. Okay, and all of these are guidelines of what has worked for myself and other students and clients, and so you can take what is the meat and you can leave the bones, and we can also discuss this in Telegram. So if you've got questions about it, don't forget to throw them in there. So we are looking at, it's a lovely typo here, so we've got module 7, ignore that. But module 6, which is educate, okay? You were educating, predominantly educating our audience on how to ride with us, how to flow with us, how to come into our sphere, how to come into our communities. And we're educating them on that process. They may not know that, but you are doing an experience. You're making an experience for them to flow towards where you want them to go, okay? On top of that, you are showing them about your business. So this is a duality thing going on here. You're giving someone training or information in a particular subject, and that subject is what you teach, it's what you show up and do. Okay, so we need to know that what you're bringing to the table is priceless, it's jewels. Okay, and we're going to educate our people on that. So we're going to be showing your audience who you are and what you really do, building greater trust with your audience. This is going to be a huge one in this journey. And some of this you'll understand is about funneling from a position of trust. Okay, so that you are the trusted authority, showing how they can benefit from working with you and empowering consistency. Okay, we want to be educating our audience every single day in some way, shape, or form. So, in order to show our audience who we are, we need to understand how they flow into our business. Okay, we want to know, what are they resonating with? What are they getting? What are they seeing? And is that what we want them to see? Is that where we want them to go? Okay, it's not enough to just have link in bio and be directing our people there, because human beings are lazy. They want one click, they want to find the easiest route to get into where they need to be. So, I want you to think about this like a funnel. If you were filling up a bottle and you wanted to put a liquid into that bottle, you would use a little funnel tube to pour that liquid in and not spill any of that liquid out. Some people liken this to being like a bit of a diamond, but you've got a base here where your clients are going to get to, right? That clients, the students, that's where you want them to get to, but they're coming in a certain way. And before they come in and become community or become possible leads or prospects, they're an audience, okay? They're an audience that are on the outside looking in, and they are deciding, what do they feel about you, your content, your offers? Do they need you? Do they not? They are weighing all of those things up. And for most of us, we're looking at growing that audience. So we really want to understand them and understand how they're flowing. There are different ways that they may come in. They might come in through social media. They might come in through conversations. They might come in through ads. They could come in different kinds of ways. I have had things in my business, or areas in my business, grow because of when I got into a room and had a conversation, spoke on a stage, or had a one-on-one conversation with somebody. Sometimes it's the social media. We're putting content out. It's drawing people in. If you're using ads, it may be the ads, right? There is a way of doing this organically and not using ads at this moment in time. And there's a way of using ads. Both of them go hand in hand, right? It just depends on where you're at, what budgets, and what you want to be doing. But the main thing to understand is that the first point of this is an audience. We're building an audience in our sphere and educating them on what it is that we're doing. So we're going to go from the socials aspect, because most of us are in that domain. You might want to drop conversations in there as well. Because even on your social media, you may be having DMs, right? Or that may be something that you want to be doing, and that is definitely a way of growing your audience. Your socials and your posts and your reels and your videos and all those things are attracting, right? Attracting, and it's like attraction marketing. It's bringing people in. And then you may be talking to them in the DMs. You may be doing a live and directing them somewhere. And we're going to get into that. But the first realm is the audience, and we're doing that via social media. So we want to funnel our people to and through our business. Okay, we want to funnel them to and through our business. So again, whether you're using posts, reels, lives, whatever you're doing on your social media space, we want to use that as a funnel. A lot of the times people are not doing that. They're just posting aimlessly. They don't have anywhere that they're directing their traffic. And like I said earlier, it's not enough to have just link in bio. Some people are going to click the link and kind of have a read and then not bother. Or some people are not going to click it at all because it's too much work. And it sounds silly, but that is the method. That is where we've got to. We're trying to find an easy way to do that. And yes, we set up your link in bio and things like that, but we're looking at an easy way of flowing them to and through your business and educating them, telling them what to do. Call to action, CTA, is what we want to use. So the first thing to note is, where is your audience? Where's your audience coming from? So I know we said that we're really looking at social. So whether that's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, it could be in-person events, right? Conversations, ads, it could be all the different areas. But I want you to just write down that this is where my audience is coming from. This is what I'm going to focus on at this point in time. An audience that comes through Instagram, which is what we're going to do. So we're going to look at the part one of that pipeline, right? Audience. So audience via socials. What's the number one reason my audience engages with me? This is a really interesting journey to go on, because you could be posting content out there and it may not necessarily be what your audience is interested in you for, right? I conduct kind of like surveys and market research every so often. And recently I asked my audience why they watch my stories, okay? And the number one reason was for inspiration and motivation. It wasn't necessarily to see my day-to-day, even though the day-to-day probably does inspire them. It isn't necessarily to see my offers, although when they're inspired and motivated, it causes them to take action towards something and possibly join in something that I'm hosting, doing, or selling, right? So you want to understand, what's the number one reason your audience is engaging with you? When they're commenting on your post, what kind of posts are they commenting on? And this is just good for you to know. And don't forget, you can ask them, okay? Never think that, oh my gosh, how do I work that out? You can ask them, you can do a poll, you can DM people, you can speak to camera on your stories and get them to, ask them the question. So it's good to know that, because you can then create more of what causes that engagement. We want the right people, right? So when you are asking that question, take note of those who are those ideal dream clients, so you can do more of what they need from you. What types of content are they engaging with? Like we just said, am I happy putting out this type of content? Again, is this is that your dream client? When you put out that content and those people engage, is it your dream client? Are you happy about that? Or is it that you're putting out this content and it's bringing in all of these people who actually are not a fit for your business, not a fit for the offer that you want to build, or that you're putting out there? In which case, like we've done in the dream client, we understand who that person is. We get to make content that speaks exactly to that dream client, not to anyone else. Which platforms are they most engaged with? This is also something really important to note, because you could be posting on Instagram and be using that as your main tool, but getting more traction on TikTok. And then the question would be, okay, well, why are we not using TikTok to also grow your audience, to also grow your business? And again, if that's where you're at, let's talk about it in the Telegram group. But for some people, they don't like making content in a specific way or on a specific platform because they don't understand how to do that. And I really want to be able to support you with that. And this is all coming from actively trying and testing all of these things out. Because for a period of time, like, my Instagram is my main platform of where I use stuff, but I'm still very present on TikTok. But it's gone in waves. There is sometimes I've put content out and people are really absorbing and eating it up. And my audience has grown from that. My email list has grown from that. And then I'll put out some content, and for a while it will be a bit quiet. And then they'll start re-engaging. So it's also understanding what's happening in your social spaces. So please understand that in this journey of business, it's not one and done. It's not here it is, you made it. It is a journey of business. We want to be finding out these things so that we can utilize them for our benefit and we can reach and help as many people as possible. So, can any of the content be duplicated / reformatted for other platforms? This is an open question, not necessarily just to do with the audience via socials, but can you redo some of that content that you've done? Can you turn that one piece of content into 3 different versions of it, or turn it into an email that goes out as well as a post, as well as a carousel, as well as a reel, right? I really want you to get savvy with how you're doing your socials. I want you to get expansive with it, that this is not about overwhelming you to create everything from scratch and do things. It's about finding out what is working and expanding on that. People buy from who they trust. So I know that we spoke about this in our previous module, credibility, but I really want to inform this. The more we can build trust with our audience, and the more that we really hone into and use that trust funnel of where we're taking our audience, where they're coming from and where they're going to, is the easier it's going to be to build that audience, and the easier it's going to be to engage with that audience, and they buy from you because they trust you. So increasing trust through content. So let's just talk about, we're going to do this, but I'm progressively dripping bits in of what's coming so that you've opened your mind to it. Okay, so just so you know, so if we're increasing trust through content, the types of content that we can be making that does that and educates our audience is testimonials, speaking to camera, sharing behind the scenes, consistent in content, right? We need to be having consistency, email sequences, private communities, and using your voice, okay? Because people get to know you. So as you're talking about your offers, as you're talking about what's going on in your world, as you're sharing testimonials or anything that's happening or things in your business, when you show up in that, it is more likely to build trust quicker, okay? So from you speaking out your testimonials and how you have helped people, or creating the post, the carousels, and all of those things with that, it is going to help build that trust with your audience, and they're more likely to buy from you. So your role in your business is to educate people that you exist, that what it is that you've got can really and truly help them. Okay, and we're going to get into more details of these things, but like I said, I drip this in so that when we just jump to those modules, it's not overwhelming. You know what's coming, and this process is about educating your audience. So let's talk about building a trust funnel from the start. And we're doing this, like I said, through that top of the funnel, building the audience on socials. So we're really sticking to the socials aspect of this right now, okay? So let's take Instagram for an example. So this is one of my clients, and she is a multifaceted artist who has a business and is a business. Okay, so she has a creative career, and she also has an online course that she's put out there. Sorry, right? So this is you as the brand and having a business. So if you find yourself in that space, this could be helpful for you. So layout with Instagram, the top of that part. One, your name, you know this, right? But her titles. So you would either have, especially if you are the business, you would have your titles. What do you resonate with? For her, movement artist, choreographer, educator, okay? But it may be your help slogan if it's your business, right? You might have that I help X get X, okay? So she's got some credibility on that. What makes you credible, right? What is the biggest thing that you may have helped people to do? Like, it might be that you help people go from 0 to 5K months, 5K months to 10K months. It might be that you've helped people to, get the splits, right? It depends on what it is your main kind of dream outcome, something that makes you credible, that your ideal dream client is looking for to achieve. This could be your I help statement, or it could be something like here, where she's got degree in educational science. And that's important to her because of her business. She's also got founder of her business. That's her business name, right? So those things are important to her and her business. Of course, a link, whether you are doing a link tree and you have multiple links on there, I would always recommend 3 to 5, no more than that in your own link tree. Or whether you're just putting a link in there for people to be able to subscribe to your freebie, right? Or to be able to join your email list by subscribing to your freebie. More on that in a bit. On this page, we've got her first image is the intro to her, right? It's a bit of a show reel. She's got her picture on there. She's got a well-known brand across the screen, right? So this is as part of her video that she's got. She's frozen it or taken that shot, the cover image that has got the Nike on there so that people can see that she's credible already, right? That is developing or authority. So the very fact that they can see that brand on there, they can see her on there, there's going to be an interest to her because she is showing up with this brand, right? Establishes authority. It establishes trust. We're educating our audience on how to trust us and that they can trust us. Here, she's got an intro to her business, which is core, right? So that might be a post, that might be a carousel for you. It doesn't have to be a video or a reel, but I want you to understand the placement of this. The first thing is the intro to you. The second thing or the third thing is the intro to your business. Okay. So I want to talk about my page as well in regards to that because it's a similar setup. You as a brand and as a business. So this is the difference with it, right? So titles. So what I've put here is kind of like my I help statement. Let's package up your superpower and get you paid from it without feel overwhelmed. You've done this in previous modules. I help people to do X without X and X without X, right? I help X people get Y result without Z thing that they don't want. So you might put that into your bio there simultaneously. And I know that this has changed for me already, but at the time of making this, right? Methods. I put the way in which I help people. I help them to elevate their offer. I help them to get mindset mastery. That has definitely changed, right? And then a link. And at the point of doing this, I had a register for my 2-hour workshop live, right? So they could click there and register. That would then take them to that registration place. In the back area, we have set up an email list and then the emails are flying out. So even if it is your freebie that you are directing people to during this journey, we want to set you up for success on here. It's clear, your name, your title, who you help, what might be either your credibility or your methods, right, that you want to throw up there, and a link that directs them. After that point, we're going to take them on the journey through an email list, right? And or email sequence to nurture them into your products, offers, and services. So again, on this page, there is an intro to me. So I'm telling them clearly to start here. And credibility, this actually has client wins. So that second post is my testimonials. This is so important to have at the top so that people, when they come onto your page, they can see it. Now, this is also in my highlights. I just want to talk about this for a moment. So I've got the freebies. They can click on here and they can actually click straight into a freebie. I've got a bit on my retreats. I've got some inspiration on there. I've got them a start here. I've got those things in my highlight. The issue here as well is that, like I said earlier, people are looking for the easiest route to doing stuff. A lot of the times people are not looking at the highlights, okay? They come on the page and they want to binge your content. They want to look at your content. So how can you set up your page so that it is easy for them to do so? Because the more they binge is the more they're likely to join your community and buy from you. So here I've also got the freebie. At the time of this, it was a giveaway, but I would put, whether it's an ebook, whether it's a free masterclass or whatever it is, that would be my third one. So I've gone from the intro to me, the credibility on the second post, and then whatever the freebie is. This is a funnel. This is the beginning of the funnel. People do not use this process, but I guarantee when you set this up, it's going to help people to be, aware of you, building your brand awareness, being educated on what it is that you do so much easier. Okay, we've got to teach people how to treat us and how to work with us. So when people do go into the my link in bio, if they do click straight from there, they're going to come up to my link tree. Okay. And on my link tree, this is where they can become a lead. So if somebody therefore clicks my She Builds Dreams 2-hour workshop, that is going to add them into an email sequence. They have become leads, right? That's what that's going to drop them into. So they could click in anything and find different ways. But for yourself, if you want them to download your freebie, to get into that free masterclass, right? We want to build out what is called a lead magnet. That's your free masterclass, your free PDF, your free ebook, whatever that is. They are going to have to exchange their email for said product. So once they've put their email in to an opt-in page, which is what we're going to get to, they'll then be able to download that freebie, and now they're in your email list and we get to nurture them. So lead magnets are huge, and we've done this in the previous module where we've looked at Google, we've looked at what our clientele could be typing into Google, we've broken that down and we make that product, and that becomes a freebie that attracts the audience to you. The lead magnet and freebie are the same thing. So a quick win, right? This is what a lead magnet is. It's a quick win that serves their symptom. Quick win. And if you want to go back to the offers training to dive into that again, you can do, but we're going to do a little bit more on that as we go on. But we want a quick win. We're not trying to solve the whole problem. We just want to serve part of the solution. We cannot help people get their full results in one freebie, and you deserve to get paid. So we know that the lead magnet is a quick win for the symptom. So based upon what we have been talking about, right, you type that into Google. So this is not the right question for this, but it's the same method. So now we're saying that our freebie, our lead magnet, is the New Mum's Guide, how to make your bathroom break a sanctuary, not your hiding place. So that's going to be the downloadable freebie that I have created that somebody could then put their email in and then download. Okay. They come into an email list. Now, I am going to be showing you how to do this on a platform called Flowdesk. If you are already using a different platform, that is fine. You can continue with that, but I want you to look at how we set these workflows up, set these email sequences up, okay? But Flowdesk is a very amazing, simple tool to use. So that we're stepping into, the moment they give you their email, they join the part 3 of the pipeline and they become part of your community. And now we're looking at how we physically are nurturing them, how are we speaking to them. And it's also a great way to get feedback from them, to ask questions, to instigate them responding to you so that you know how to speak to others who are in their situation, in their circumstance. So they come into your email list, and this is going to help us nurture your people. So I'm going to break this down. The first point of this, so we know, let's go back, we know that somebody maybe had clicked my freebie. They've clicked on here. And it's basically taken them to a link. Same process. It's taken them to a link, and maybe it was my masterclass, okay? Or for argument's sake, let's say it's the New Mum's Guide, right? They've downloaded the New Mum's Guide because they have put their email in to an opt-in page, which I'm going to break down. So you're going to have this and be able to set this up in Flowdesk, and it is basically like a form, and there's no doubt that you have done this before for yourself. You put your email in, and then it's going to fire out a deliverable, right? It's going to fire out the ebook. It's going to fire out the lead magnet. Okay. So in your case, I'm somebody in your audience. I've come to your opt-in page. I put my email in. You have set up an automation that has sent me the ebook. And now I'm in this email sequence that is going to fire out 3 to 5 emails over a period of time. And it's going to be nurturing me. So every time I get that email, I'm going to be reading that email. I'm going to be seeing what's happening because I've just got this freebie for you. So I know that this is a lot of information. And I want you to remember, be pausing this, go back over it, take some deep breaths. But I guarantee you, when you've done this part, it is going to go so much smoother, and those people are going to know exactly where to go because we have set them up for success and you've set yourself up for success. Okay, ready? Let's go. Opt-in page. So this is just an idea in Flowdesk, right? You build out a simple opt-in page, and you can see here, email goes in. They join. They download. Whatever the button is going to say, download, get it now, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we would do an opt-in page or a form page in Flowdesk, and it would fire that out. Now, there are different ways to set up these pages, and there's no right or wrong, but what we are looking for is simplicity. Okay. We want to make this easy. So for instance, they've come into the opt-in page. The deliverable is going to fire out. We love a spelling mistake. So it fires out the new mum's guide, how to make your bathroom break a sanctuary, not a hiding place. Okay, this is not quite the right picture, but I'm just giving you an overview, an idea that it would fire out whatever the freebie is, and the freebie is sent to them or / and is downloadable, right? So it could be downloadable on the page or it's sent to them. What we know for sure is that because they put their email list in, now it's stored in your email back office. I'm going to talk to you about a lead magnet upsell, which is the next part of this. So we're going to take this back. Opt-in page, deliverable, 3 to 5 email nurture sequence. That 3 to 5 email nurture sequence is going to include details of an upsell. And an upsell literally just means the next viable step in the process for a lower price. And we've done this in our offers section where we do low ticket. The next one is a kind of upsell, right? That's the next thing for our clients to buy into that is going to help them achieve their goal at a very low price. Okay. So lead magnet upsell, it's a no-brainer accompanying upsell, ranges between £10 to £97 or dollars, right? And in this case, we're saying it's a 5-minute breathwork guide to reset your nervous system and stimulate creative thinking. And I've put this on the page. These are not exactly related to this at all, but I'm giving you an overview of what something like this might look like. You might build out what your upsell is and then make a nice little picture for it so that when you're posting it on a page, you can have it up there. And I might add an accompanying video that actually talks about how to use that breathwork guide, how to use that upsell. We're trying to set our clients, our students up for success. So can you make it simple? And if they've paid $27 or £27 for it, it may be a nice thing to send a video that's accompanying a PDF to explain how it works, or even just to say, thank you so much for downloading it, and reminding them of the power that it's going to give to them when they put it into action. Okay. So last part of this, I know it's a lot of content, but you're doing amazing, is the email that carries that upsell. So you know that this is a lead magnet upsell. We're going to talk about this and the fact that they can buy that within our 3 emails. So email 1 is going to have something on there. Email 2 is going to have something. Email 3 is going to have something. And in actual fact, if you scroll down, all of this is there done for you, people. Okay. I want you to take a deep breath. You have a template of what a PDF freebie could look like. You have emails that are pre-written, and you can click the link below to head over to the Google, make a copy. Do not change the emails that are written, but simply make a copy so that you can put it into your own Google Drive, and then you can change the verbiage, change the language to fit what your upsell could be. Okay, so it's all done for you there. This is to give you understanding of how it works, but everything is down there. And remember, please remember that I am here in Telegram. So if you're wondering what could my upsell be, you can go back to your notes, go back to that offer training and look at what the next viable step is that you have probably already written down and already have. But if you're weighing it up and you're not too sure, the Telegram group is there. I'm going to be in there and we can talk about it and make sure that it's something that really works and is really clear. And then we get that set up. So You have done amazing, right? The first part of this has been such a journey of discovery, such a journey of, your offers and what it is that you're doing and where it is that you're going. And so I want you to just really celebrate the fact that you've come to nearly the end of this section of the program. Now, there is a bonus training that follows this, and that's going to dive into walking you through setting up a bunch of your things via Flowdesk, getting those emails done, and taking yourself to that next level. Okay, do something to celebrate. And I want to know what it is in the Telegram group, because you are worthy of your next level. And once you put all of this in, it's going to feel so good. See you in the next module.